Hi everyone, my name is Sarah. I originally grew up in the town of Oakville, Ontario, and for the past 4 years I went to Queen's University, represent. But now I'm currently living in Whistler, BC. I'm going to take you guys back to roughly a year ago, so September of 2016, to a time where I was very excited to start my fourth and final year of university. I was involved in a bunch of things, some of them being mental health advocacy related things, and I knew that I had taken on a lot of extracurriculars, but I was excited for the challenge and just ready to fully embrace fourth year. I also was ready to work super hard for really good grades and embrace the social life, go to all the parties, and just have a really great year. So, I got through first semester. It was a little stressful, but I was okay. And then second semester hit, and around March, I was planning an event for every single weekend or week in the month of March alone. There were also more parties to go to, and school picked up, and it got to the point where I was burnt out. I isolated myself, I stopped hanging out with friends, and I stopped doing the things I loved, like working out. It was a very, very dark place for me. I was in a place where I feel like I was slipping and I had lost control over my life. My turning point came when I was sitting at a national conference for mental health called the Jack Summit in Toronto. It was our second day, and we were about to launch into another session of talking about mental health after had talking about mental health all day. And I remember sitting back at one point and just thinking to myself, I can't do this anymore. I need to go take care of me. So I walked out of the room, and thankfully they had counselors upstairs if anyone needed to just leave and chat with someone for a bit. So I went upstairs and talked to someone for the first time for about an hour of everything I was going through. And the weight that was just lifted off my shoulders as soon as I left the room was like nothing I've ever felt before. It was funny because while I was involved in all these mental health advocacy programs, I wasn't taking care of my own mental health. Thus, I struggled in silence for a really long time. I didn't want anyone to see me as this weak mental health advocate. So I kept silent. And if it's one thing that you learn from my story is that even a mental health advocate struggles with their mental health. And that's totally okay, so long as you're open about it. And that's the other thing that I learned, is that actually being open and vulnerable about my mental health helped me to connect to people and learn that I wasn't alone in how I was feeling. Thanks for listening.